Hi, my name's Margie Dunki-Jacobs, and I'm here with my good friend Benjamin Sley. And Ben came into my life at a time when I was with a group of people and we were all together at this place in California. And I noticed him after meeting him over Zoom look so handsome in his suit. And I still have some weight that I need to release. So Ben and I had a conversation about how I could be part of his group because he's lost over 100 pounds and he didn't do it 10 years ago. He did it recently. Ben is a 75-year young Marine Corps veteran, health coach, and inspirational speaker who transformed his life by losing over 100 pounds and reclaiming his vitality through a keto lifestyle. Once he was overweight and discouraged, Ben now radiates energy and purpose, fitting proudly back into his Marine dress blues after 30 years. Wow, would I like to get back into my wedding gown? He's the creator of Permanent Weight Loss Mastery course, helping over 45 achieve lasting results without injections, without drugs, without excessive exercise. Ooh, that sounds like something I want to do. With a message rooted in mindset, nutrition, and accountability, Ben empowers others to break free from the frustration and discover the vibrant life that they deserve. That is why I am so excited to introduce you to Ben as someone to know because he has a story and I'm going to let him take it from here. Ben, thanks for joining me today.
Well, thank you, Margie. It's just a pleasure to be here. I'm delighted to do it. And just to tell you something I did just 2 days ago, literally 2 days ago, I went skydiving over Yosemite from 14,000 feet and landed there near the park. It was just a great experience. And my point is to say that having had this lifestyle transformation, it's added a new sense of vitality and vibrancy to my life that I didn't think that I would have. I thought it was lost forever. And now I'm here, I'm living proof. And if I can do it, you can do it. And as you mentioned, I was overweight for over 30 years. At my height, 110 pounds more than what I am now. And a cousin asked me to go to the Marine Corps Ball, which is always on November 10th, the Marine Corps birthday. And this was in May. So actually like six and a half years ago. And I hadn't been able to fit in that uniform in well over 30 years. And that became my goal. And what I did, I put a picture of that uniform and younger Marines wearing that. That was always one of my inspirations to join the Marines initially. And and I kept that goal in front of me. And I was not only able to lose the weight, but that was more than 6 years ago. Uh, the key, what I learned by studying nutrition is how to keep it off, which is really the key. It does no good to yo-yo diet, and that's what happens with most people. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is on a traditional calorie restriction weight loss diet, 25% of all of the weight loss is muscle loss. So when you get down to your target weight, you have 25% less muscle mass, and which has a higher metabolism. So if you eat for that normal weight without that muscle, you're going to gain weight. That's one of the reasons. And for those who take Ozempic, and by the way, I definitely want to speak with people that have considered or tried Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, these GLP-1 drugs, because unless you stay on it for life, which has all of these adverse side effects, it's like playing Russian roulette. The weight's going to come back because the studies have found that the muscle loss is even worse with these GLP-1 drugs. You lose 40% of the weight loss is muscle loss. And, they talk about something called Ozempic face, where, these Hollywood people, because they lose the muscle tone in their face muscles just kind of sag. So I also want to speak with those people that think this is a quick fix and a fast solution. It's not. The adverse effects are terrible. So if you've tried Ozempic, come try it with me, and try with me, and I think you'll be pleased with the results.
Well, thank you for mentioning that. We'd be hard pressed to find somebody not trying it today. Like I have thought about it, and what I spent more time researching the side effects about it because I wanted something that, people are saying this works. What scares me is when people say they're going to stay on it, because I've heard that the longer you stay on it, the more chance. And I have two friends personally who ended up in the ER with a full kidney shutdown, and the other person, 36 years old, seizures, never,
Wow.
never a seizure in their life. And suddenly they, and once off of it and out of their system, it took a while, no more of that. So there, people are clamoring for something. And Ben, this is what I love about what you've done. Tell us how you did it without the drugs and out the injections, because we want what you have.
Sure, sure. And I want to be able to give what it is I have, which is a feeling of vibrancy and vitality,
Mhm.
where you're not just existing, you're thriving. You're out there, you're playing with the grandkids, you're rolling on the grass with them, and you feel good about your life. And you might not have thought that was possible. Some
Yeah.
people give up. And there's a statistic that asks people, that it was a study by the National Institutes of Health, where they took different age groups like 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and so forth. And they asked how many were on a diet in the past year. And of all of those age groups, it's over 50%, which, number one, shows you diets don't work. If they work, people wouldn't, half the country wouldn't be on a diet at any one time. And that is a traditional diet. But there was a surprising statistic with the over 60 age group. The number of those who are dieting fell off sharply. And they didn't explain it. They didn't have any follow up. They didn't ask any questions about that. But I think I figured out why that happens. I think people who are over 60 who are overweight, it's not that there's less people overweight in that age group. It's that I think they quit trying. They give up on dieting and they just figure, hey, I'm heavy. This is the way it's going to be. I want to enjoy my life. I'm going to eat all the sweets and the cake and the pastries and things like that. And they give up without realizing they could have this vibrant life. And I'm here to tell you that you can have that vibrant life. I have a BS in chemistry with emphasis on biochemistry and organic chemistry, so I understand the nutrition science. And as I studied it, I think the best way to lose weight is through a low carbohydrate diet. They call it ketogenic, but eliminating the pastries, the pastas, the high fructose corn syrups. Now, it takes some getting used to, because our bodies are addicted to this. They deliberately made the high fructose corn syrup and all of these other additives of the highly processed foods to be addictive. And they are. They've done a good job. And it takes a period of time, maybe 2, 3 weeks. But once you get over that, you won't have that craving for it. These foods do not produce satiety. And medical science will tell you to this day, all calories are equal, that a calorie is a calorie is a calorie. And the way you determine the value of food is based on calories, and your weight is a function of the calories in versus the calories out with exercise and that sort of thing. But that's not really true, because I think we all instinctively know, for example, that 450 calories of chocolate cake is not equal to 450 calories of a 6-ounce filet mignon. The body treats them differently because of hormonal differences with respect to insulin, ghrelin, and other hormones. the body treats them completely differently. So it's just not true that a calorie is a calorie is a calorie, but medical science to this day will tell you that. And they also tell you, you go to the grocery store, there's so many items that are low fat. Well, the fat is actually something that produces satiety. You know, until about the past 60 or 70 years, people ate a lot of fat in their diets. And the studies show eating fat doesn't cause you to get fat. In fact, it's something that the body needs. The brain is made of 70% fat. So when we've gone to these low fat diets and eliminated fat from the diet, and they have artificial margarines and things like that, there's a correlation between that and brain function, brain fog. And even they've, related this to the Alzheimer's, which is going up in terms of numbers of the population with our low fat. And so there's a number of reasons of eating a low carbohydrate, but moderately high fat. And the fats that are good for you are olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, certainly tallow, butter, those sorts of things, ghee, and vegetable oils, seed oils, like canola oil that you're familiar with, and all of the maize oil, all of these things you see, those are toxic. They're toxic to the body. And almost all fried foods, you go to a fast food restaurant, almost all of those are fried in these vegetable oils, which they use over and over and over again. And the high temperatures changes their molecular structure, and they're just not good for the body. So if I could issue just one simple word of advice, don't eat fried foods at any fast food restaurant unless you fry it yourself and you know you're using olive oil or avocado oil or coconut oil or butter. Don't eat it. It's toxic to the
Yeah.
body.
And the word toxic really is true. So what one of the things once I got to know you better is I wanted to be in a community that you have. And I know you have a Facebook community because I'm in it. And
Right.
can you tell everybody what the name of that is? And
Sure. It's on Facebook. It's Ben Sley's Weight Loss Achievers. And if you just go to my Facebook site, Ben Sley, and type in Ben Sley's Weight Loss Achievers, you'll be able to find this group. It's certainly free to join, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have if you DM me through that group or just from my Facebook page. I can talk to you and see what your goals are and maybe how I can help you achieve those goals.
nice. And Slay spelled Sley,
Sley, correct.
that we
That's right.
all know. And
Right.
Ben, now do you have any programs that people could like an 8-week program or I don't know. Do you have anything that we could do that we could
I do indeed.
follow?
Yeah, good question. I do indeed, Margie. I have a 90-day program, so 3-month program, 13 weeks, in which I guarantee that the person on this program will lose 10% of their body weight. So that's about 1% a week, which all the scientists and doctors say that's doable, that's achievable, that's a very safe way to lose weight. This is a little bit less than that because 10% of your body weight in 13 weeks. And studies have shown that just with a 10% body weight loss, it has tremendous benefits for you. And I guarantee that following my program, that the person would lose 10% of their body weight in 90 days. And the guarantee is this: if you don't lose the 10% in 90 days, you can recycle and you'll get another 90 days. But certainly you'll be able to do it just following the program. And after that 3-month transition period, you won't want those things that are toxic to the body, and you'll learn what's toxic. Because I've been working in this sphere and arena, I get these ads all the time where somebody says, join my program, eat these foods, do this and that, and then you can eat your favorite foods. Well, I disagree with that. I don't think you can eat your favorite foods. Number one, it was your favorite foods that got you there in the first place. And number two, these foods are toxic. They're probably the fried foods, they're the ultra processed foods, or the ones with the high fructose corn syrup and all of these additives. And one of the reasons that all this happened was in the 80s and 90s when the tobacco companies, R.J. Reynolds, P. Lorillard, and so forth, were having all these lawsuits against them. They branched out and they bought the major food companies. They bought Kraft, they bought Nabisco, they bought General Mills, and they took their scientists that made cigarettes as addictive as possible, and they turned them loose on the food industry, not to make the food more nutritious, but to make it more addictive. And they did these tests and what they called a satiety index and so forth to satiate people, to make them feel, well, this is what I really want to eat. But the problem is when it's processed like that, you feel good for a short while, you have a high, and then you have a low, and then you want to eat more. Whereas
Yeah.
the natural way of eating is you eat, you're satisfied, and you don't want to have more and more. But when I used to eat these things, I wouldn't stop until I finished the whole bag of Doritos, the large bag or whatever. I'd just keep
Oh,
on eating, even though I knew I didn't need it. I was full, but these foods are addictive and they're made that way.
they
So
are. And
it,
I know that we could talk about this all day. I want to just respect your time and close this and just this is like the beginning of a conversation, but I wanted people to know about you that you have a program that it doesn't cost us thousands of dollars to inject ourselves and end
exactly,
up in the emergency room. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
understand that a lot of people are having success, and even someone said it's worth vomiting and having diarrhea every day if I can lose this weight. And I just thought, what
yeah,
has happened? Now, I know a lot of people are having some success, but I also am scared about like month 4 and
right.
what's happening. So, other than that, I'm really excited to know that you have a Facebook group that is free for people to join, that you have a program that isn't going to inject us and take drugs and make us feel yuck, but we're going to feel really, really good and thriving. I just want you to say very briefly, when did you start your weight loss and how long did it take you to approximately, we're not going to like put this in a time, but
Yeah, sure. It was like 6 years ago now in May, when I was invited to the Marine Corps ball, which gave me 6 months to lose. And at that, because I'd yo-yo dieted, I had 76 pounds to lose at that point from my all-time high. But
and you were 69 years old.
I was 69 years old, right? And I uh, had to lose 76 pounds to get back to my weight that I was in Marine Corps boot camp, to get back down to 183. And I was able to do it during that period of time and to fit back in my dress blues once again. So in 6 months, I lost the 76 pounds and have been able to keep that off and from the total weight loss.
Amazing. Amazing. You're very inspiring and also very encouraging that I'm going to be 65 and I'm thinking this is finally the time that I really actually get it together. So,
Hey, you
um
you can do it. In fact, how shall I say? I cater to people. I'm 75 and I feel in the best shape of my life. I don't know how to put it, but I feel better than I did when I was 45 and nearly 100 pounds overweight at that time. So
amazing. So how do you have a website or something, Ben, that
I do. I have a website called Slay the Fat Now. Now, Slay is Slay, not my name, but it's
okay.
a play on words. Slay, slaythefatnow.com.
Okay.
And uh, as you go to that page, if you just put in your email address, I uh, will have that and be able to contact you. I can send you a free copy of my book in PDF format that I have for sale on Amazon that I've written about this weight loss journey.
Nice.
Uh, one of the things I just want to say this in closing, if you look at a picture of people on the beach in America in the 1960s or 70s, you look at that, and all these people seem to be fit and of normal weight. And yet that's so different today when 70% of Americans are overweight, 40% are obese, and 10% morbidly obese. And what's happened? Human nature hasn't changed. The people in the 60s and 70s didn't have a better human nature than we do today. Our food has been changed
Yeah.
without our permission, without our consent, and we need to get back to how the food was naturally and get rid of all these toxins that are in today's food.
100% agree. Like I say, we could talk about this for hours
Yeah,
but I'm excited that there's solutions.
there
And
are,
I'm
there's hope.
really proud of you that you took this on and experienced this transformational vitality to the point where you give us encouragement no matter what age we are, to be able to do it ourselves. So thank you for joining us today. I just wanted to introduce this is someone to know in my life who's changed my life, and I want everybody out there to know Ben Sley too. So thank you, Ben. Anything else you want to say in
Oh,
closing?
thank you, Margie. This is great. Yeah, I'd be delighted to help. It's transformed my life, and I'd like to help others because if I can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely. Well, so thank you so much for joining us, Ben. You're an inspiration to us all, and we want it to be more than inspiration. We want to have testimonial after testimonial after testimonial, and I'd like to talk to you more about going through your program. So thank you.
Sounds great. Thank
Take
you,
care.
Margie. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.